Welcome to episode 5 of my Pioneer Nevada project. So welcome back anyone who's been following the series. In this episode we are going to be tackling a lot of the electrical components on this bike, putting things back on, hopefully fixing some broken ones, getting it ready for MOT and ready to go back on the road. For those who are new to the channel or new to this project, let's give you a quick update on what we are doing. So this right here is my Pioneer Nevada 125cc motorbike. We bought her a few weeks ago for just £150. She was looking more worse for wear then than what she is now, and she was not running. Now, with a little bit of blood, sweat and tears, she is up and running, runs and drives, and is now ready for reassembly. So that's what we are going to start tackling in this video. So that was a quick look at what we're working with. Most of the work that's been done so far is stuff you can't see, like the inside of the fuel tank to get that fuel running through nice and clean, and obviously the carburetor. If you're interested in what's been done so far, go back, the link might be here, to watch the last few videos that we've done. You can see all the work we've done so far to get the bike running, and the little bit of cleaning that we've done to get it looking, I would say, as good as it is now, but it still looks quite rough. So let's get on with this, and let's get tackling these next problems, and let's get it ready to go back on the road. So let's go. So we're actually going to start from the back of the bike, because after a lot of cleaning the exhaust looks a lot better, and I've got some parts ready to go on the back of the bike. So what we've got is we've got these little brackets which mount these new style LED indicators. They're not standard, they are sort of universal cheap Chinese components that you just get off eBay. So what we're going to do, the bolt is going to go through this hole here. That is then just going to rest on the same bolt that the suspension is on just there, and it's going to be the same on both sides. So we're going to go ahead and get those on the bike, and they should look something like this. Okay, slight change of plan. Instead of fitting them here, I am actually going to fit them here. So I'm going to get a nut with some big washers, fit the washers either side, fit the nut just to make use of those holes, and I'm going to fit the indicators there, because trying to take these off, they either don't want to come off, I'm using the wrong tool, or the threads are knackered. So we're not going to do that. We're actually just going to go in here. It'll just be easier. So we're going to get these indicators on. I'm going to go through that hole there. I've managed to source myself some nuts and bolts, and hopefully with the help of a bolt and some big washers we can make these things fit. Again, we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to put a nut through a washer, and the washer on this side. And we got the mount bracket, and so from the back, I'll straighten them up in a minute. They will look something a bit like that. Obviously they need a bit of leveling out and wiring up, but it doesn't look too bad. I mean, that's not the best way to fit them, but I'm working with what I got. You know, the guy has cut the frame. The previous owner totally chopped the arse of the frame off, so they should normally be like back here somewhere ish. or they would be on top of there, but those bolts do not come off because the thread is knackered. So making the best of a bad scenario. I'm sure it'll look tidy once the seat is on. Just got to work out how to mount the seat. So let's try and tackle that wiring first and make sure they work. So using the wiring diagram I got online for this bike, I found out that these wires are for the rear indicators. This one, supposed to be orange according to the diagram, is for the left rear indicator. This one is the live for the right. It's like a bluey greeny colour, and then you got the green for the earth, which is on a double bullet. So the actual bullets on the end of the indicators don't fit, so what I'm going to do is chop these off, change them over for some ones that do fit the new the bullets, and get those fitted on there. So let's cut to a time lapse of me doing that. Even though there's already bullet connectors on these indicators, I'm going to go ahead and crimp on the matching ones for the set that I bought, just to make sure those connections, you know, are a good fit. So I'm going to go ahead and snip these off and cut them on. Okay, so while I was crimping them, I realised that these wires do not actually do the left indicator. These wires down here for the left indicator, I found that out by matching them to the ones for the front. They're actually slightly too short for me to mount the indicator there, so what I'm going to have to do is get some wire and crimp it in there. So I'll probably skip that. I won't really film that because that's just going to be done at a later date. But what we do now have are left indicator, right indicator. One step forward, sort of. So a lot of you, if you were watching that, probably wondered, what on earth is this guy doing? I'm going to clear out to crimp electronics. I've never done it before. You know, totally giving this a go for, you know, first time ever. I did a lot of re-crimping because the connections were just rubbish. So I'm sort of getting the hang of it now. I'm no master, but yeah, let's move on to the rear brake light. We got 3 bullets to put on there, and which wires down there will work for the rear tail light. Let's go. Okay, so I put the back brake light on. Realised I was wrong once again. I put on some bullet connectors onto this, as I said I was going to, and then it connects via a 3-pin plug right there. I worked that out by looking at the old one, which has got a 3-pin plug. Quickly snipped the bullet connectors off that, crimped on a 3-pin plug, and we have a working rear brake. Although if I pull the front brake, it does not do anything. So it's either a broken switch or a fault in the wire up there. So I'm gonna have to very quickly learn how to work that out. But we now have indicators, front and rear. Not that they're mounted, so we need to work out how to mount them. Also need to mount the speedo, tackle the rust, and we're sort of nearly there. I have lost my gazebo because we've had a lot of bad weather, so the quicker I get this done and get it out of my garden, the better. So let's have a go at tackling the speedo. So taking the old instrument cluster off, we got a 6-pin here which goes down to the gearbox, which is going to be my gear indication light, and then we've got a 4-pin here which will go into the new digital speedo that I'm going to try and wire on, because I'll show you the old one in a second, but the old one is just not salvageable. So I've got the old instrument cluster here. I took apart the speedo to try and get the broken glass out. This was an absolute nightmare to get off. I've had to bend it all shapes, so replacing the glass on that is not going to be an option. I thought I could also do the same thing on these to get in there and clean that, but they were just full of water, and getting those off is going to be a nightmare. So we are just going to absolutely wing it, and I'm going to try and fit this, universal digital one. It's got a 6-pin already on it, although it needs adapting. It's got a 3-pin for the wheel speed sensor, which I'm going to have to work out how to fit. And then obviously it's got a 9-pin, because this does a hell of a lot more than the original one did. But if I can just wire in the 4 wires that matter, maybe we can go without the rest of those features. So let's see. So one of the issues I've got is on the bike there are female plugs, because the male side of the plugs were on the instrument cluster, and on the new instrument cluster you got females. So I need to, I think, chop these and wire on the male parts to the other side so that I can just plug them straight into those. I think that's going to be the easiest option, and then I can just, that can just be a go-between between the bike and this. What am I doing? So we got all these crimped on. That is now ready to go into another adapter. We just got to check how they line up on the bike. Not the prettiest of crimps, but they are done. They're on there. They're functional, I hope. So this next one, the 4-pin, is slightly more tricky, because I've got to wire on a 9-pin to match that, and I've got to wire them so that they fit into the right places to connect with the correct plugs. And hopefully it works with just 4 wires connected to 4 of those pins. So time to wire them in and hope for the best. So according to this wiring diagram that you should see on screen now, it should be a case of bottom left, middle, very middle, and then top middle. Those are the ones that I need, so I just need to look at the bike wiring diagram, which should be on the screen now, and connect these wires into a 9-pin plug in accordance, and it should, fingers crossed, work. Okay, so after a couple of mistakes I've now matched them all up. So that goes in there. That now fits in there. That fits in there. My 9-pin adapter to a 4-pin now fits in there. And if I'm really lucky, when I turn the ignition on any moment now, we will see if that comes on. Fingers crossed. Here's hoping for the best. Ignition's on, but nothing on the speedo. So I think I'm going to have to wrap this video there, otherwise it's going to get really long-winded. So indicators are working, brake light is sort of working. I'm going to clear what's going on with that speedo. Do I persevere with this speedo? Do I buy a totally different one that uses the original speedo cable and just a power cable, and sack off the gear selector and all the other bits? I really haven't got a clue. I'm way out of my depth here. But I'm going to do a bit more research and see what we can do. Obviously next video is going to be me mounting the front indicators. Anything else I can do, I mean the light's already working, just needs tidying up. Tackle the rust on the front forks and finally work out how to mount this seat properly. So thanks for watching. Shout out to you know, anyone else who's been watching. Project Clark 123. Cheers for watching. Nice to see another guy who's also on YouTube giving it a go. Check him out if anyone is interested in some bike stuff. Have a look. Catch you on the next video. Okay, so after having a little fiddle around there, I disconnected those 2 wires. I need to work out where they go back into that plug, but I moved the black in line with the black on there and the green in line with the green on that one, and also connected the wheel speed sensor, and now we have actually got power to the speedo. Most of the other stuff is, you know, most of the features aren't going to work, but there's actually power coming to the speedo. So provided I can work out how to fit this, which is the wheel speed sensor, we will have a working speedometer. So whereas I said I was going to end the video a couple of minutes ago, I'm going to actually end it there with the electrics working to some degree. So next video will be all about me mounting everything. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for the next video.